What up, Who's Space? It's your boy JP, and we're doing a recap of tonight's games from April the 6th. There were 5 NBA games total. People trying to get into the play-in, people trying to get into the playoffs. Well, they looking so far right now and everything. So far this season, a couple of games left till the regular season ends. Before I get into the NBA recap and everything for y'all, make sure you subscribe to Who's Space down below for more basketball content. Click the notification bell. You know what our next upload is. On the road to 1K. Thank you all so much for tuning in. And let's go ahead and get into it, though. So the first game we had is the Cavaliers versus the Orlando Magic. The Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Orlando Magic 118-94. Pretty much like Orlando was good in the first quarter, and then all of a sudden they just could not stop Cleveland's offense and everything pretty much. Danny Green, a guy we haven't heard from in forever, came off the bench and scored 21 points, hit 5 3-point shots. 5 3-point shots. Haven't heard his name in a while and everything. So Donovan Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, Jared Allen. They all pretty much sat. Alcoa, they all sat. As playoffs is coming, they got the Knicks in the first round. They shot pretty well from field goal percentage, 52.3%, 47.4% 3-point shooting, 16 turnovers. There's a lot of turnovers though, but they were all in the pluses in terms of the Cleveland Cavaliers, while the Orlando Magic, no Paul Vancaro, no Franz Wagner, no Wendell Carter Jr. They were not that great, in terms of field goal and 3-point percentage. But Jalen Suggs had 22 points though, and watch out for the Atlanta Magic team if they can, get like if the pieces are fitting right, and then Paul Vancouver is your franchise guy, and you got Wendell Carter Jr., and then you have, as far as Wagner. I mean, they're going to be a hell of a team for years to come. They're a young team. They could really compete and get into the playoffs. That's how really good they are. They're very scary. So, Jamal Mosley's doing a really good job as a coach, though. So, I mean, definitely watch out for the Orlando Magic and see what draft picks they're going to do and see what moves they're going to do in this offseason, though. The second game we had is the Miami Heat versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Miami Heat defeated the Philadelphia 76ers 129-101. I don't think Philly's worried about this loss or anything because they got the third seed. Miami Heat definitely needed this win because they're trying to avoid playing in the play-in tournament and all that, hit them in Brooklyn. Jimmy Butler had a really good game. He had 24 points. He had an and one from an impossible angle, was wagging his finger to the Philadelphia 76ers. I thought that was pretty funny. Tyler Hill had a really good game with 24 points. Bam Adebayo with 14 points and 8 rebounds. Matt Strus with 14 points. Caleb Martin with 13 points off the bench. They shot really well in terms of field goal shooting 55.7%, and then 3-point shooting actually surprised me, 46.2%. That was actually surprising because they're not a really great 3-point shooting team. Like Philadelphia shot pretty awful tonight from 3-point range. They shot 27.8%. That's pretty awful, but they're efficient in terms of field goal in terms of 51.3%. So yeah, they were pretty awful in terms of 3-point percent. I thought that would be for the Miami Heat, but it was actually for Philadelphia. So that was a surprising, and it wasn't really much of a close game, to be honest with you. At one point, it was like 67-40 something. Miami. I was like, oof. So Miami has something to prove tonight to try to avoid trying to avoid playing in the play-in and trying to get into the playoffs. So shout out to the Miami Heat for the victory. Then we had the Trailblazers versus the San Antonio Spurs. I know a lot of people probably didn't watch this game and everything, but it was a pretty close game right here as the San Antonio Spurs defeated the Blazers 129-127. Kenyon Johnson, I'm very high on with 24 points. Bates Diop with 25 points. Zach Collins with 21 points. Trey Jones with 18 points. And then the person coming off the bench, I think Champagne, he had 24 points. So yeah, he played phenomenal tonight. And then, in terms of Portland Trailblazers, Eubanks with 23 points. So yeah, they pretty much sat, Dame the rest of the season, and Simons, he's out probably the rest of the season and everything. and then Sharp didn't play with the left knee. So yeah, it was just pretty young squad and all that, getting more playing time and everything. Kevin Knox, shout out to Kevin Knox, a name I haven't heard in a while. 24 points. So definitely a good victory for San Antonio. And if they could land Victor Wembanyama in the draft, if San Antonio be able to do that, that would be awesome, because they had David Robinson, then they switched the franchise over to Tim Duncan. So then Tim Duncan's not there. You can switch away. It was supposed to have been Kawhi, but he left, so it could go to Victor Wembanyama. So if they could land him in the draft, I mean, I would love to see him in the San Antonio Spurs uniform. And Popovich, man, that's a franchise player for years to come if he stays healthy. So then we have the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Utah Jazz. And Lauren Marketing, big news coming out of Utah that he would have to serve in his Finnian military and everything. I think they said you have to do it before the age of 30 and everything. So definitely wish the best of luck to Lauren Marketing though. But the Thunder defeated the Jazz 114-98. The Thunder trying to, get into, trying to stay in the play-in tournament and everything. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 22 points. Jalen Williams with 9 points. The other Jalen with 11 points. Giddey with 17 points and 8 rebounds and 8 assists, so almost a triple-double there. Sarge with 14 points. That's a name I haven't heard in a while, so I haven't heard his name in a while. And in terms of the Utah Jazz, Chris Dunn with 22 points. He led the team. Kelly Olynyk with 16 points. So yeah, it was pretty much not really much of a close game and everything. The Utah Jazz were horrible in terms of three-point percentage, shooting 16%. Unfortunately, had 19 turnovers too as well. So good victory for the Oklahoma City Thunder, trying to stay in for the play-in tournament and everything. And then for the last game, we had the Denver Nuggets versus the Phoenix Suns. The Denver Nuggets resting, Jamal Murray, resting Jokic, resting Porter Jr. So you had, Braun, Jackson, Jordan, Brown, and Watson starting in your starting lineup against the Suns team. I understand why they played Durant, Booker, Ayton, and Paul, just to try to get more chemistry and rhythm so that they be ready for the playoffs. If this team's very healthy, they could come out the West. If KD can stay healthy, if Booker stays healthy, if Paul stays healthy, if DeAndre Ayton stays healthy, they could contend in the West and can get to the finals. That's just how much of a good team that when KD arrived, they made him into he made that team even better, because he could fit in any system. You can isolate with him because he can score the basketball and everything. So if they can stay healthy, this team, you got to watch out for Phoenix. So, but the Phoenix Suns defeated the Nuggets 119-115. Chris Paul turning back the clock with 25 points. And it's so funny that he only had 2 assists this game though, but he really was scoring that basketball. Kevin Durant with 29 points and 4 assists and 7 rebounds. Devin Booker, was a bad shooting night with Devin Booker with 15 points. DeAndre Ayton with 16 points. Torrey Craig with 11 points coming off the bench. Bruce Brown, who I've been very high on when the Denver Nuggets got him in the offseason, I was like, that's a really great pickup. He led the team with 31 points. It's good to see DeAndre Jordan play. Shout out to him with a dunk over Ayton after Ayton was trying to complain to the ref over a foul. It was funny. Reggie Jackson with 20 points. Braun with 15 points. I was about Jeff Green with 14 points. So it was a pretty close game, watching it and everything. So but yeah, that was your NBA recap of the evening though. They're just trying to get ready for the play-in, trying to get ready for the NBA playoffs, try to lock the seedings and everything. So definitely comment down below and tell me your takeaways from any of the games and what you're looking forward to in the play-in and the playoffs, and then the takeaways for any tomorrow's game. So I know the Celtics and the Raptors are going to play again tomorrow. I'm a Celtics fan, so I got to know this. They play at Boston tomorrow, so I'm definitely going to be watching the game because Who knows who's going to show out in terms of Boston? So yeah, let me know in the comments below and subscribe to Who Spaces for more basketball content and click that notification bell. You know our next upload is on the road to 1K. If you like my analysis and my content, please check out It's Just JP. I do basketball reaction videos, and also check out my newest channel, JP Talks Celtics, where we talk all things Boston Celtics. And definitely watch out for a predictions tomorrow, and also watch out for the post-game reaction tomorrow after the game. I'm JP, and we out of here. Peace.